There's this really strange thing happening in the online coaching world. We see all these incredibly talented coaches who are just amazing at what they do, but they're struggling. We're going to dig into the real reason why, and it's probably not what you think. So let me just ask you straight up, are you a brilliant coach? Come on, you know you are. You've got the skills, you've got the passion. You have proven methods that can genuinely help people get these incredible results. You feel it in your bones that you can make a huge difference. And yet, after all of that, you pull up your calendar, and what do you see? A whole lot of nothing. That wide open white space is just staring back at you. The clients, for whatever reason, just aren't showing up. Look, if that feels painfully familiar, I need you to hear this. You are so not alone. This isn't just some random problem you're having. This is the #1 problem that pretty much every coach is dealing with online. It's a huge systemic issue, and we're about to pull back the curtain on why it's happening. So it all kicks off with something I call the perception problem. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's that feeling of being completely invisible. Like you're just lost in this giant sea of sameness, no matter how loud you try to shout. And when I say a giant sea, I mean it. Just look at this number. You're out there competing with over 34,000 other coaches, all trying to get attention in the exact same online spaces. That is a staggering amount of noise to cut through. It's no wonder it feels impossible to get noticed. So, how do you even begin to stand out? Well, here's the trap pretty much everyone falls into. We all start using the exact same words. Transform your life. Unlock your potential. We've all heard it a million times, and let's be honest, we've probably all said it. The problem is, when you sound like everyone else, a potential client has zero reason to stop and listen to you. And what happens then? Well, the result is pretty brutal. Potential clients can't see what makes you special in that split second you have their attention. So they just keep scrolling. Swipe. Gone. You lose them before you even had a shot. It's this silent rejection that happens again and again and again. Now, being invisible, that leads directly to a much, much deeper issue, the precarity problem. This is where being unseen isn't just an ego bruise. It turns into the very real day-to-day stress of trying to run a totally unstable business. Does this chart give you anxiety? Because it should. This is the income roller coaster. One month, you're flying high, you're fully booked, you feel like you finally made it. And the next month, crickets. It's a total ghost town. This feast or famine cycle is absolutely exhausting, and it makes it impossible to build anything real. And this financial chaos, it traps you in this vicious, downward spiral of burnout. All your energy goes into desperately hunting for the next client, not actually coaching. You're always worried about money. You feel like you're losing control. And here's the craziest part. The harder you hustle, the more drained you get, and the worse you are at your job. And just to pour a little salt in the wound, you're basically building your business on borrowed land, right? Facebook changes its algorithm and poof, your reach is gone overnight. Some new AI tool comes out offering a cheap alternative to what you do. You're constantly walking on eggshells, which just feeds that feeling that you have absolutely no real control. Okay, so we've laid out the problems pretty clearly. You're invisible and your business is unstable. But what's the real underlying cause connecting these two things? This right here. This is the truth that almost nobody is telling coaches. So after looking at all this, the crazy competition, the generic buzzwords, the burnout cycle, what is the actual fundamental problem that's tying all these painful dots together? And here is the absolute most important thing you need to understand. The answer isn't to go get another certification. It's not about learning a new technique or becoming a better coach. Your skill as a coach was never, ever the problem. The real issue is somewhere else entirely. The real fix, the thing that changes the entire game, is building what we call coaching authority. Think of it like this. It's what happens when you combine a really powerful personal brand that makes you stand out with a deep, earned level of trust that makes you credible. When you get those two things working together, you become the obvious choice for your ideal client. The competition just becomes irrelevant. And so, that brings us right here, to the final and most critical question you have to ask yourself. Are you just trying to build a coaching practice? Chasing clients, reacting to algorithms, and just hoping things work out? Or are you intentionally and strategically building real authority, the kind that attracts clients to you, that creates stability, and that finally puts you in control? Because honestly, the answer to that one question is going to define the entire future of your business.